When things seem too good to be true, they usually are. Maybe if I had just stayed home, I wouldn't be cowering in my best friend's bedroom at 3 a.m. Let me tell you what happened. I didn't want to cause trouble. I never do. When your mum works double shifts and your dad's been gone since before you were born, you learn to keep your head down and accept whatever good luck wanders your way. So when Mr. Carter offered to take me and Jamie to the brand new Freddy Fizz diner, I said yes before he even finished asking. I'd never been to a place like that. Somewhere with neon lights and hot pizza and those giant soft play towers filled with slides and ball pits. Stuff you only see on TV. The kind of place school kids brag about going to on weekends. Karen, Jamie's stepmom, had gone away for a break, so Jamie didn't want to go. She never let him play video games, so he kept whining about wanting to stay home and grind levels. It won't kill you to touch grass for one evening, his dad said, ruffling his hair. I swear Jamie actually hissed at him, but when he looked at me and saw how badly I wanted to go, he groaned and put his shoes on. Fine, whatever. But I'm not eating the pizza. It'll taste like feet. He was wrong, by the way. The pizza was incredible. The diner sat right on the edge of town, a place that used to be a carpet warehouse before the company went bust. Now the sign above the door glowed with a huge smiling cartoon bear, waving a splotchy paw that flickered every few seconds like the light had a nervous twitch. Freddy Fizz Diner, where smiles live forever. The tagline made me laugh, but something about the word forever made the hair on my neck stand up. Inside it was sensory overload, balloons tied to railings, arcade machines chiming, bright murals of cartoon animals, foxes, bears, owls, frolicking in a forest. And right at the center was the stage, where 4 huge animatronic forest animals stood in a line. Freddie Bear, Mimsy the Mouse, Tucker the Timber Wolf, and Ollie the Owl. They towered over us, 7 feet tall, fur-textured metal hides, big blinking glass eyes, grins a little too wide, close enough to be friendly, far enough from human to be wrong. Mr. Carter muttered, "Yikes! Straight out of the uncanny valley, aren't they?" "They're fine," Jamie said, kicking Freddy Bear's leg like he was testing the density of a football. I winced. The metal thunk carried too loudly. Ollie the Owl's head turned toward us. Not slowly or robotically, but like a person reacting to a noise. Jamie laughed it off. See? Just programmed like that. But my stomach curled. We ordered pizza, cheese for me, pepperoni for Jamie. And while we waited, the animatronics delivered the food themselves. Freddy Bear trundled toward the table on metal paws, holding a steaming tray.
"Thank you for choosing Freddy's,"
his pre-recorded voice chirped.
"We love seeing happy little tummies."
He placed the tray down with a clunk. Jamie smirked, then kicked Freddy's shin again. The animatronic jolted, paused, then slowly turned its head, downwards, toward Jamie's leg.
"Error,"
it said softly. Except it didn't sound like a recording this time. It sounded confused. I nudged Jamie hard. "Stop it." He rolled his eyes. "It's just metal." The wolf animatronic, Tucker, stood on the stage with its head facing the dining area. But I swear one of its glass eyes was aimed directly at us, watching, waiting. I ate quietly, trying not to make eye contact with anything made of gears. After dinner, Mr. Carter wandered off to try one of the old arcade machines near the back. You could hear when he found one he liked, because he did this weird, excited noise adults make when they're pretending to be teenagers again. "Go play," he told us, still mashing buttons. Jamie perked up. ball pit. And before I could even answer, he was already climbing into the soft play area. We crawled through the foam tunnels, raced down the slide, then dove into the massive pool of plastic balls. The kind of ball pit that feels bottomless when you're small and unlucky enough to sink straight to the bottom every time you move. Jamie disappeared instantly, leaving a swirl of blue and red balls where he'd gone under. "Jamie?" I laughed, splashing the surface. Nothing. I pushed deeper, balls shifting around me in slow waves. Movement. A rush of plastic parting like water. "Jamie, stop messing." A hand grabbed my ankle. I screamed, until Jamie surfaced, laughing his head off. "You're such a wimp," he said, flicking a ball at me. I shoved him. "Don't do that." He grinned, wiped sweat off his forehead, then ducked under again. Typical Jamie, 1 second annoying, 1 second fun. I followed after him. The balls were cold near the bottom. Too cold. Like dipping your hand into a freezer full of icy beads. Something brushed my leg. Something furry? "Jamie?" I whispered. No answer. I pushed deeper, deeper. The smell of plastic changed, becoming stale, sour, like old breath. My fingers brushed fabric, cloth, something soft. Then a warm hand grabbed my wrist. Not too hard, not playful, just absolute stillness. I yanked harder, expecting Jamie. But the hand was bigger, and when it pulled back, it tried to pull me with it. I kicked upward. Plastic balls spilled around me in shimmering cascades. "Jamie!" I shouted. I surfaced, gasping. The ball pit around me was empty. Jamie was gone. "Mr. Carter!" I yelled, climbing out so fast I scraped my knees. He came rushing over, abandoning the arcade game he'd been totally absorbed in. "What happened?" he asked. "Jamie, he went under the balls and just vanished." Mr. Carter's face changed instantly. He wasn't panicking, and he didn't look angry. It was something worse. Recognition. He glanced toward the animatronics. All 4 were staring at the ball pit. Even the owl, whose head was turned completely backward. Mr. Carter whispered, "Okay." "Okay?" I snapped back. He grabbed my arm. "Just stay behind me. Don't go near the pit." I did what he said, but I could tell something had changed in the diner. The lights were dimming, and the air tasted like metal. The animatronics shifted their weight like animals waking up. Freddie Bear took one slow step off the stage. Thud. Then another. Thud. Each movement too fluid, too deliberate. His voice crackled, low and broken.
Error. Ha. Happy little upgrader grade. Error.
Mimsy the mouse twitched violently, head jerking side to side before locking its blank eyes onto us. "Where's Jamie?" I cried. Mr. Carter looked at the ball pit, then the animatronics, and his face went white. "He didn't go missing," he said quietly. "They took him." The diner lights flickered, and for half a second, I saw a shape down in the pit, something big and furry, and then a small hand reaching up. Jamie's hand. The light steadied again, and it vanished. I didn't want to believe it, even after everything I'd seen. The dimming lights, the animatronics leaving the stage, the way Freddie Bear's glowing eyes followed me like a living thing. I kept telling myself Jamie was fine, that he'd pop up from the ball pit any second, throwing balls at my face like he always did. But Mr. Carter's face, that told me the truth before his mouth ever did. "We need help," I said. my voice cracking as I stared at the empty pit. Security, staff, someone. There's no staff at night, Mr. Carter muttered. Just them. He meant the animatronics. And now those 7-foot forest animals were stepping off the stage in slow, terrible unison. Freddie's claws curled as he walked. Tucker the wolf dragged one metal paw behind him like it had a broken joint. Mimsy twitched. Ollie the owl rotated its head 180 degrees, its eyes bright and dead. I grabbed Mr. Carter's sleeve. We have to go. He didn't run. He didn't even look scared. He just said one thing, okay. Before I could question that, he pulled me toward a staff-only door and typed a 4-digit code into the keypad like he'd been here 100 times. It clicked open. Wait, how do you know the code? I stammered. He didn't answer. The hallway beyond was cold and buzzing with machinery. Pipes rattled. Something heavy moved in the walls. The whole place felt like the inside of a sleeping beast. As we walked deeper, I kept waiting for Mr. Carter to shout Jamie's name, to panic, to be a normal dad whose kid just vanished in a pit of plastic balls. But he didn't. He was focused and directed, like he knew exactly where Jamie had gone. Mr. Carter, I whispered. How do you know where to go? Because they told me, he said quietly. In the flyer. I stopped dead. Flyer? What flyer? He didn't slow down. He just kept walking, shaking, muttering to himself. They said they could help him. They said they could fix him. I didn't think. A voice came through the vents, glitchy, breathy, wrong.
Fix, fix, fix.
Ollie the owl. We kept moving until we reached a steel door labelled Maintenance Bay, Employees Only. Behind it, a whirring sound pulsed like a heartbeat. Then, a weak, trembling voice. Dad, it hurts. Jamie. My knees nearly gave out. Open it, I yelled. Mr. Carter hesitated, only for half a second. Then he pushed the door. The room beyond looked nothing like a kid's restaurant. A giant assembly chamber stretched out in front of us. Conveyor belts, arms of machinery, dangling suits made of fur and metal, wiring, spark showers, vats of liquid plastic. But I didn't see any of that first. I saw Jamie. He was strapped upright to a metal frame, arms spread out like a scarecrow. His feet dangled a few inches above the floor. His shirt had been torn off, and where his left arm should have been was a half-attached animatronic limb. Thick metal rods stuck out of his elbow. Servo motors whirred as the arm twitched unnaturally. Fur had been stapled over metal like a patchwork pelt. The claws twitched on their own, scraping the air. Jamie sobbed, his breath misting in the cold room. Dad, I can't feel my hand.
You don't have a hand anymore,
A soft voice whispered above him. And behind Jamie stood Tucker the wolf. One massive metal paw pressed gently against Jamie's spine. Wires slithered from the wolf's torso into Jamie's back like veins. The wolf spoke through a shredded speaker.
Process 47% complete.
Mr. Carter collapsed to his knees. Oh God, I didn't mean this. I didn't know. I grabbed his shoulders. You knew something was wrong with this place. I thought they'd help him, he sobbed. I thought they'd make him better. They said they could. They said he'd come back calm, obedient, fixed. Fixed? I shouted. They're turning him into them. Jamie let out a sharp, agonized cry as his mechanical arm jerked. Blood dripped where metal met skin. Freddie Bear stepped out of the shadows. Servos groaning, voice cracking.
We love seeing happy little tummies. Let us help. Let us help.
The speaker glitched. Then a new voice replaced the recording. Cold, human, commanding.
Parent consent verified.
Mr. Carter froze, wiped his eyes, and stared up at the animatronic bear. What did you say? Freddy Bear leaned down, face inches from his.
Parent consent verified. Behavioral correction initiated.
Jamie whimpered, weak and broken. Dad, please. I don't want to be a robot. His new metal arm twitched violently. The claws snapped shut. Stop it! I screamed. Tucker the wolf turned its head toward me, slow and deliberate. Its eyes clicked as they focused. I thought he was coming for me next. I grabbed Jamie's human arm and pulled with everything I had. Help me! I screamed at Mr. Carter. He's your son! Mr. Carter finally snapped out of his trance. He ran forward, grabbed Jamie around the chest, and pulled. Wires tore. Screws pinged off the metal floor. Jamie screamed into my shoulder. Something inside Tucker's chest sparked violently.
Process interrupted. Error. Unfinished unit detected.
The lights turned blood red. Sirens blared. Animatronics screeched from every corner of the room. Jamie slumped in my arms, half human, half metal, shaking uncontrollably. His eyes rolled back. His voice broke. Dad, I don't feel like me. Mr. Carter sobbed, clutching him. I know, buddy. I know. I'm so sorry. Behind us, Freddy Bear straightened, towering over us all.
Return the unit.
Tucker the wolf rose to its full height, claws scraping.
Finish the process.
Ollie the owl's head spun so fast it became a blur. Mimsy the mouse dropped from the ceiling with a metallic screech. And Jamie whispered, barely conscious, "Don't let them finish me." I tightened my grip on him, and we ran. We didn't stop running. Mr. Carter carried Jamie like he weighed nothing, even though the metal in his half-finished arm clanged and jerked with every step. Jamie's head lolled against his father's shoulder, eyes fluttering, breath short and sharp. Behind us. Thud, thud, thud. Freddy Bear's footsteps shook the whole maintenance hall. Tucker the wolf's claws screeched on the tiles. Mimsy's tiny feet pitted on the walls. We slammed through a door and stumbled into a nightmare. A nursery of horror. Tiny animatronics lined the room. Little foxes, mice, owls, a raccoon with glowing eyes no bigger than marbles. Their LED pupils flickered alive as we entered, all turning their heads in perfect, sickening unison. They stepped off their shelves as one. Small metal paws tapped against the floor. Childlike voices whispered,
New friends. Stay with us.
Jamie whimpered even though he was half conscious. His metal arm twitched violently at the sound, like it recognized them. Don't stop, I breathed. Please don't stop. We ran. They followed, scuttling like bugs. Behind them came the heavy thud, thud, thud of the larger animatronics bursting into the nursery. We barely made it through another door before Freddy Bear's clawed hands slammed into it from behind. The whole frame shook. Alarms blared. Mr. Carter didn't slow. He just held Jamie tighter and ran harder. We exploded out the emergency exit and into the freezing night. The parking lot was empty and black except for the car. Go, I yelled. Go. The moment the car doors closed, Freddy Bear pushed through the exit behind us, eyes glowing like searchlights. Mr. Carter floored it. Gravel sprayed. The headlights caught Tucker running beside us in the tree line for a moment. Fast, low, predatory. Before the diner fell away behind us. Jamie whimpered in the back seat, curled into his father's chest. "Dad, what did you do?" Mr. Carter broke. I didn't know," he sobbed. "I didn't know it would be like that." "What did you think would happen?" I shouted from the front seat. He's metal." He squeezed his eyes shut, voice shaking. I got a flyer through the door. It said they could help him. "What flyer?" "A children's behavior program," he choked out. It said, "Upgrade your child today." I thought it was a joke, a scare tactic, something to make him listen. I didn't know they meant this. I didn't know they... He couldn't finish. Jamie twitched in his arms, the servos in his metal limb whining softly. "It hurts," Jamie whispered. "Dad, I don't feel like me." "We'll get you home," Mr. Carter promised, voice raw. "You'll be safe at home." I didn't trust him, but Jamie was too weak to argue. He didn't even fight when Mr. Carter carried him inside and laid him gently on the bed. I stayed. I didn't even ask. I couldn't leave him like that. Jamie drifted in and out, sweating and shaking. Sometimes the mechanical components under his skin moved on their own. Sometimes he cried quietly and begged his dad not to let them finish him. Hours passed. Then Jamie jerked upright with a gasp. "It's blinking," he whispered. "What is?" He lifted his metal arm. A tiny red LED was pulsing between two plates of metal. A tracker. My stomach dropped. "Oh no." "What?" Mr. Carter snapped, rushing into the room. I pointed. He went white. Outside the house. A distant thud. Another. Thud. The porch light flickered once. Twice. Then died. The front door rattled in its frame. Jamie grabbed my hand with his good one, shaking hard. "Don't let them finish me. Please." Another thud. Harder. It shook the entire hallway. Mr. Carter stepped in front of us, trembling. "They tracked him," he whispered. "They tracked him home." The doorknob twisted slowly. An enormous shadow moved behind the frosted glass. Then, a deep, metallic voice vibrated through the whole house.
Process incomplete.
Jamie screamed. The door hinges groaned.
Returning unit for completion.
Oh, don't you just hate it when stories cut out like that? Right at the worst possible moment? Yeah, blame the author. Anyway, thanks for listening. Tonight's story was written by me. It's kind of a choose-your-own-ending story. Let me know in the comments if you want them to survive. Or, is Jamie going to end up with Bluetooth and a warranty card? If you enjoyed the chaos, hit subscribe, like, and maybe join the membership so you can say I was here before she got weirdly famous. A massive shout out to my members. Or rather, member, Mark Mathern 7322. If you really, really enjoyed it, think I have that super thanks button down there somewhere. Even £1 helps me toward my goal of making this a full-time thing. Then I can just have one full-time thing instead of my day job and this full-time. I'm here a lot. Good night.